Hello, everyone. Today, in my series of study Bibles and other study materials, I have a couple of different commentaries I want to show you guys that I actually found and found very useful. So, the first one is the MacArthur Bible Commentary. So, the information in this is pretty much the same thing as that is in the MacArthur Study Bibles. So, if you already have a MacArthur Study Bible, this is pretty much all of the normal information that you would find in there in a single resource. It's very in depth, typical of just any of the normal John MacArthur information that you see out there. So we're going to look at this one pretty soon. And I also, when I was out shopping at one of our local Goodwills, I ran into, of all things, a Nelson's Compact Series Bible commentary. So this is a pretty in-depth resource for a very small size. As you can see, it's pretty thick. So what I will do is I'll go into an overhead on both of these and we'll give you some more information on this. And as I find more of these, I'll bring more of these videos to you guys in the future. So we'll go to an overhead shot and we'll get on a little bit more in depth here. All right, next up on the series of Bible commentaries, we have the MacArthur Bible Commentary. So this is the John MacArthur information. It's basically what is in the John MacArthur study Bibles, but with a little bit more fleshed out in certain areas. So this has a general introduction to the major divisions of the Bible, introductions covering the author, date, and time of each book, harmony of the historical books, harmony of the Gospels, articles providing overviews of theology, ministry, and the apostles, cross-references to the MacArthur Bible Handbook. So, interesting. So I have the ISBN number. Just want to check that out. So it has a nice little dust jacket on it, hardcover. The inside actually isn't that bad. I kind of like gold inlay on that, but that type of paper, I probably will leave the dust jacket on it. So let's open it up. So it's a hardcover. It doesn't really want to lay flat until you get a little farther down in. So let's see here. February 2005. Contents page. There's preface. Nature and purpose of the Bible. Key teachings in the Bible. Nice little section here. Dealing with God's word. And I'm gonna take this. I'm just gonna take this dust check out for now. We'll go back in here. And so as we get in, so this has word studies in here as well. So there's a list of specific word studies and their page numbers. Progress of Revelation, Introduction to the Pentateuch. And so the way they do in most of these, he does is it's a nice title, author and date, background and settings, historical and theological themes, an outline. Nice. Books in the Pentateuch. Key ideas, a nation, the people, God's character, his role, and God's commands. Very nice. So there's maps that are spread throughout as well. And just like the other study Bible, it's fairly easy to navigate through it. You just go to the book, then you've got the verse and line, chapter and line. So this would be Genesis 1, 3, 19. Genesis 3:19. And Travels of Patriarchs. Abraham, dreams in Genesis. So some very good information here spread throughout. Nice maps. Keywords. So this is what we saw in the beginning. So it breaks down a specific word, its meaning, where it was used, a couple of places throughout, and what specifically it means for those sections. Go a little faster through here. Predicates, numbers. So it uses a lot of different the maps. Starting to get to where it'll lay flat a little bit. Keywords. So it's pretty straightforward, easy to use. Nice maps that are relevant to the section that you're in. So having them all at the end, I mean, it's at the relevant section, which is kind of nice. Family, genealogy of David, like how that's broken down. We'll keep going through here. They're just what you would typically see in a study Bible or other commentary. Really straightforward. All of MacArthur's mainly is taking from his study Bible's notes and his other teachings. Parables of Ezekiel. And if I run into them, the only drawback that I see is some of the maps, wherever they got them from, didn't translate over very well in the printing. To find one, I should have actually went ahead and bookmarked one to show you guys. That's the only drawback. I mean, it's really readable, good clean paper. The only drawback I had is when I had purchased this one, it was shipped like just the dust jacket inside of a box. So minor, like little damage here, but over time that'll smooth out. Timeline, brief timeline of Christ's life. So yeah, this is, I can see what they say. That's pretty much the same information that is in the MacArthur Study Bible. I've flipped through it and looked at it before. Apostles, Romans, so here in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians. It goes here to Corinthians. Okay. The way of love, yes. Love is patient, kind, and unselfish, truthful, hopeful, and enduring. I like that. The way of love. Yeah. I like these keywords that are spread throughout. For my full notes. Further study notes. Paul's prison apostles. There's some good study notes in here. The whole armor of God, belt of truth, breastplate of righteousness, boots of the gospel, shield of faith, helmet of salvation, and sword of the Spirit. Very nice. Colossians. One. Hebrews. So it's pretty straightforward as I'm kind of flipping through here. Really, really easy to navigate. As we get toward the end, we'll see what other notes are at the very end here. View the Revelation. So it looks like it ended in the Revelation. There's a couple of blank pages at the end, so I'm assuming you could use those for notes. A couple cardstock pages at the end for the paste down. All in all, another good solid material to use for your studies. I would definitely recommend this. So this is like at the high end of what I want to show on my channel here. I think we paid full price for this. So this is a $50 resource. So I want to try to keep things under 50 if I can for most of the resources that I purchase. So I hope this gives you guys another, tool to use in your studies. So I hope to bring more of these for you in the future. And now another one that I picked up from my series of first store finds, I found a Nelson's Compact Series Compact Bible Commentary. So this is another one I got for under $1. Normally lists for, looks like $14.99. So even then, that would be a decent buy if you can find this anymore. So a nice compact. It's pretty thick though. It's like almost 2.5 inches thick. But it's about the size as my other little Bible. So it'd be a good little thing to throw in a bag. But it's paperback, so you might want to do something to protect the edges, be able to make it last a little bit longer. And the only side to this one, I should say, was when I got it, somebody had a kind of cracked the binding a little bit, but that doesn't worry me that much for the price that I paid for it. So as we get into it, so it's just standard Old Testament, New Testament. And there's nothing to it. I mean, it goes right into Genesis. So it has an introduction of the passage. So just straight through, verse 1:1, 1:2, 1:3. And it's a little bit more concise than the Moody commentary that I'd actually looked at earlier. But it's still, relatively good information about what you would see in a standard study Bible. So it's pretty concise. So it's looking like the words that are bolded are what they're specifically talking about in the passage. So 12:4, Lot went with him, 75 years old. Bible rarely indicates a person's age when events occur. Pretty concise little notes. So there's small in-depth sections. They're talking about specific topics that should be related to the passage. I hit a little bit more. Numbers. So yeah, it's pretty easy to use. So it's, the book, verse, and line to where the little break is. As we get past the break in it, Maya, Job, Psalms. Nice breakdown of the Psalms, each of the lines. A little bit farther here. These little in-depth articles are pretty good to stop and actually read. You can cross them. Question God, Matthew. So yeah, looks like really straightforward notes. I mean, the thicker pages on this older copy are very, very readable because it's really opaque. That's probably why the Bible is so thick, or the commentary is so thick, I should say. John, let's see what it says from John 1. Nice introduction. In the beginning, the Word was God. All things were made through him. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. So nothing that you wouldn't expect to see. Revelation. So there's no other things in the back. No maps or concordance or anything like that, but for just a nice commentary that's pretty small. I mean, standard Bible like my Nelson's, you can see it's a little bit smaller, but is definitely thicker than a standard. This one's about 1.25 inches, and so this is almost 3 inches. But for something you could find, it's an older edition. Let me see if I can figure out when this one was produced. 2004 edition. So pretty good, especially if you can find a good copy of it at a thrift store. But even if you can find it at near full price for like $15 for this, would not be a bad option. Especially if paperback, save you some money. They tend to last if you take care of them, or put some type of clear tape or clear maybe contact paper or something on the outer page to give yourself a little bit more strength and durability. But all in all, another good option. So we'll see if I can find more of these for you guys in the future. Thanks for watching.